So I'll probably make the safe pick as well, 6-6, 7-5 range. But if somebody said to me, Mark, they're going to go one way or the other, they're going to go 8-4 or 4-8, I would tend to slip toward the 4-8 because not because of them so much, but because of this schedule. And I could see 4-8 with a lot of 3 and 4 point losses to Arkansas and Kentucky and Florida. I don't see it going that direction, but if I was given the choice, just again, because of the schedule and the opponents.
4-8, God, Mark.
I'm not going to do that to you.
I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around 4-8. So basically what we're saying is Georgia State, SC State, Charlotte, and Vanderbilt, and that is it. And the rest of them are like touchdown or less.
Yeah. What do we got here?
Yeah,
right. That's a bit.
Those would be the 4, because those are, when I break down the schedule and wins, toss-ups, and losses, those 4 games are in my win bucket. So basically, but see, that's what I'm saying is I just think it's unrealistic to say that Carolina is just going to lose every other game. Now, I understand for the sake of the conversation, what do you think is more likely, 8-4 or 4-8? Like I don't want to sound like Garnet Glass is optimistic, but I still just think 8-4 is more realistic. I just
do the math like you just did.
Listen, if Spencer Rattler, right, if Spencer Rattler stays healthy the entire season, there's no way this team goes 4-8. There's none, absolutely none. I'll say this. I will say this. Now, this is a little bit of a different hypothetical, but I've told people. I presented this hypothetical months ago. I said 2 situations. One, you can sign this dotted line and you have an 8-4 season guaranteed. I'm not going to tell you who you're beating, who you're losing to, but 8-4 is locked in. You'll go into the season knowing you're going 8-4. Or the second hypothetical, the second situation is this. You can roll the dice. And the amount of people that said they'd roll the dice was baffling to me. Because what you're saying, if you'd say you roll the dice, is that you think there's a better chance the Gamecocks go 9-3 than 7-5. And for me, I don't agree with that. I think South Carolina probably is about a 7-5 team. I think that's fair. I don't know if you saw this, Mark. I picked the Gamecocks to beat Clemson. That's where my 8th win comes. I've got Carolina pulling the upset. I think for the first time since 2013, the Gamecocks had the better quarterback in that game. And I look at Clemson now. Listen, they're still a very, very good football team. They're elite on the defensive side, but a lot of moving pieces. I see them as being mortal. And I think I know the game, is at their place. I know the game's at their place, but I think Clemson is mortal, and I think they've got other issues, and they don't have a quarterback. And I think South Carolina, if they can withstand on the line of scrimmage, I don't see why they couldn't pull the upset. It's college football, man. It's crazy. When does it ever go chalk? You know what I mean? So, 4-8's aggressive, Mark. 4-8's aggressive. That's just what I'll say. 4-8's
well, when you lay
really
it out the way you did, I totally get it. I totally get it, because those 4 wins that you just they're
those should be double digit, right? Those should be double digit.
Automatic.
I mean, I think the toughest of those 4 is probably Georgia State. Honestly, I think that the season opener, Sean Elliott. There's a lot of intriguing storylines in that one, but the season opener, Sean Elliott. I think he'll have his team ready to play, and there'll be a lot of emotions that night. And, just the first game for a new team, new offense, new quarterback, things it could be like a slow start. I could see it being very uncomfortable early. I could see it being a close game at half. I do have the Gamecocks winning that game by 20, but Georgia State's probably the one I go into the season. If you had to ask me which one do you have most concern about, I'd say Georgia State. I think Carolina will just completely wax Charlotte and SC State. And then Vandy, at that point, Carolina's clicking. I think there'll be a lot of points scored. I like Clark Lee a lot, don't get me wrong, but it ain't going to be a 1-point game again. I'll just put it that way. So